Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show. Guess what? I was at the HuffPo. I saw this video. I'm going to play it for you. It's called Monumental Changes, and it's all about all the monuments coming down. All of a sudden, real fasty. Here we go. Following the violent racist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, that arose out of a protest against plans to remove a Robert E. Lee statue, other cities are reconsidering their own Confederate memorials. Turn this down a little low. So here we go. That's in Lexington, Kentucky. The mayor says he's going to take action to take down. This is Annapolis, Maryland. Breaking calls for removal of statue for Maryland. There you go. Where's this? Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. They're all, see that? They're all the mayors are taking it down. This is Jacksonville, Florida. Justin, Jacksonville City Council president calls for starting process of removing the Confederate memorial. Mayor Jim Strickland in Memphis, Tennessee continues to remove Confederate statues. Wow, they're really doing it everywhere. Baltimore has already removed 4 monuments, and they did it in nighttime, so there wouldn't be any protests. And they plan to send some of them to Confederate cemeteries, which I didn't even know there were Confederate cemeteries. You learn something new. There are more than 700 Confederate monuments installed in public areas. Did you know that? Across 31 states, including some that fought for the Union. Did not know that. Along with border states and states that were mere territories during the Civil War, still honoring the Confederacy. Look at that. That's in Lexington, Kentucky. Fairview, Kentucky. But that looks like the Washington Monument. Helena, Montana. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Confederate statues continue to be built. This is interesting here. Watch this. You know how many? 35 were added in North Carolina since 2000. And that's where they have the law that you can't tear down a Confederate statue in North Carolina. Did you know that? Isn't that crazy? What a crazy law to pass. Protesters just removed one of those statues in Durham. There you go. That's illegal. 8 people have been arrested for this. He flips off the statue. That's hilarious. This guy in the blue shirt's going to hurt his foot. Ow, ow, ow. North Carolina. Oh, look at that. North Carolina governor says we cannot continue to glorify a war against the United States of America fought in the defense of slavery. These monuments should come down. Well, it's weird. North Carolina just erected 35 new Confederate statues since 2000, and you passed a law that says you can't tear them down. That's weird. Isn't that weird?
I had no idea, like, there was still an industry constructing that stuff.
Right?
You know, I mean, usually vintage stuff I'm a fan of. I still collect vinyl. But this, not on board.
Those 35 statues, somebody gets that contract to make those statues. Somebody gets the contract to install those statues, right?
Yeah.
A lot of money in those statues, Confederate statues. I asked this question. I don't know if you can read it. Who here thinks we'd be knocking these statues down if Hillary was president? Good question. Don't you think it's because Trump is in the White House and his brand of racists and his racist apologists? That's why people are now motivated to do something about, hey, turns out, yeah, all these Confederate statues are fucking racist. Oh, my God, I didn't even think about it till our president was racist. I didn't even think about it. You're right. We've been doing it to ourselves. Trump didn't put those Confederate statues there. They've been putting it in themselves. So, and if Hillary was president, would any of this happen? I'm gonna if I'm asked that question, I would say no. Is that a fair question? I don't know.
If Hillary was president, I'd be having a mimosa right now because everything would be fine.
So, no, I think Trump has actually accelerated the push for single payer in America. Don't you think? Don't you think people are talking about single payer now like left and right? People weren't talking about it before, especially when he tried to repeal Obamacare. People are ripping down Confederate statues. Go ahead, what?
Well, they say, like, real change doesn't actually happen until you reach a point of crisis. And
Right.
I think it's fair to say Trump's a point of crisis.
Yes. Yeah, we're in crisis. Trump's he is a crisis, and he is there because of a crisis.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Trump was inevitably going to happen. Like that's the big. It's like this was inevitably going to happen in a system like ours, when you have two parties, fringe right or center right, and they're both bought by the same people. Something like this was inevitably going to happen. You were inevitably going to get a demagogue at some point.
People predict. By the way, lots of people predicted this would happen. Michael Moore predicted this would happen. We covered it on the show. He predicted in 2012 that it would happen. Go ahead, Ron.
Yeah. No, I mean that was pretty much the end of my thought.
Okay. So, no, I think we would be continuing our slide. What we would be doing if Hillary was president, we'd be sitting around watching her get things done with Republicans.